You can press home, you can fix this one, you can get ready because we can start it.
A very good morning to everyone, and a very happy Teachers' Day. I, Wong Jian, will be the moderator of today's program. On 5th September 2021, Teachers' Day celebration with the theme Recover and Revitalize Education for the COVID-19 generation.
Respected Reverend Father Sebastian Jones as the Director, Reverend Father Dr. Kels Bastin as the Reverend Father Joseph Totapoli, Administrator, Reverend Father Silenan Karkita, Sister Cecilia Tamay, Vice Principal, teaching, non-teaching staff, and everyone present here. As we gather here today, I would like to thank every teachers who have been our guiding force during the lockdown. You have not only taught us new way to learn, but have also motivated us during this lockdown. I take this opportunity to talk about the history of Teachers' Day and why we celebrated it. Every year, Teachers' Day is celebrated on 5th of September. Do you know why it has been chosen? Today marks the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He was the second president of India from 1962 to 1967. A great scholar who dedicated his life towards education. Once he was asked by his students to celebrate his birthday, he simply replied and said, "Instead of celebrating my birthday, it would be my proud privilege if September 5th is observed as Teachers' Day." His birthday was then declared as Teachers' Day to acknowledge all the teachers. Since 1962, 5th of September is observed as Teachers' Day in India. To begin, we would like to highlight today's program.
Firstly, we have prayer song from second, fourth, and sixth semester.
Second, we have invocation from Reverend Father Joseph Tatapuli, Administrator.
Third, lighting of thanks and homage to Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan.
Fourth, we have solo song, students represent
to announce certain winners. Here, for the poetry writing competition, we have the first prize go to Rakesh Sharma, recall. Second by Gairuna Galmay, 19 year, and third by Voices Keshi, 20 the prices for this 700 and certificates. Second, 500.
Manifestation of divinity in human form, the heart of all knowledge. You are the pathfinder of travelers lost in the abyss. In you, I see a version of reality behind the masquerade of imaginary illusion I always live. Your aura illuminates a starless night with selfless deeds. A wise sage, sealed in you who shows future through his own story. Without you, all teachings would vex with falsities and wrongs confused with truth. The world would be a miserable bloodshed. Had he not been born, you are placed in the highest of realms. From you springs the morrow. O teacher, my future is in you. Imagining a life without you would be a nightmare. To smooth her from within, bit by bit. Blinded with the bubble glitters of the vicious. Now I found you. A godsend, a savior of all confused and caged minds. So this day is to commemorate your existence for your wonderful acts of nobility and virtue. Happy Teacher's Day.
It's here by recording. No, you have to click there.
Now I pull upon the purpose for the bonus.
This button. When you click this one, it will start recording.
Your presentation was so beautiful that I find it difficult getting the right words to express my gratitude to you. Thank you very much, dear Horizon. Teacher's Day is the right time for the students to express our grateful thanks to all our teachers. So here we are with a melodious song to show our girl how blessed and lucky we are to have you all as our best teachers. Now I invite the second, fourth, and sixth semesters to kindly take their time.
clear? No. Huh? No clear at all. Yeah. Because of narrow, I think. Huh? Because of narrow one.
Booyah! That was really amazing. Your voice are like cuckoos. Thank you so much for your melodious song. Now, moving on to the next, we have performance stations from Brothers. He will be reciting his poem through online.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very happy Teachers' Day to all my beloved
is the
teachers
answer?
of Don Bosco College, Maran. I'm Prakash Sharma, and I would like to dedicate, if I might, my short poem to all the teachers of Don Bosco College, Maran. The title of my poem is Who is a Good Teacher? Please enjoy the poem. Who is a good teacher? By Prakash Sharma. Who is a good teacher? I asked to my old grammar teacher. He looked at me through his thick glasses and with a cure smile, he replied, well, son, that's a matter of perspective. Different people have different teachers. To a poor man who doesn't have a dime, his family flameless stove is his greatest teacher. To a rich yet depressed man, the vanity of earthly pursuits is his greatest teachers. To a person bedridden with sickness, his sickness and helplessness is his greatest teacher. To a man who has failed way too often, the bitter taste of failure is his greatest teacher. To a homeless person who doesn't have a roof, the sting of winter winds is his greatest teacher. People like us, we merely tell stories. Life does all the teaching. My son, life does all the teaching. I looked at him in awe. Thank you once again, and a very happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, dear brothers, for your wonderful poem. May God continue to bless you in all what you do. Thank you once again. Moving on to the next, we have Words of Appreciation by A. Maniro Dipo. This time is yours.
one is good that actually. You have to put little friends no.
A real teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself light to wait for others. Mr. Hakama. Hello, good afternoon. My beloved teachers and fellow students. My name is Manuel, a member of the class 2018 and 2021. I am indeed grateful and honored to testify the excellence of our mentors, i.e. our teachers. A teacher is one who knows and speaks. He speaks as well as walk the talk. Many may pretend to know and say, but a teacher not only speaks, he experiences, he teaches, and he also acts. If education is all around development, then teachers are the architect who brings development. If a country is rich and developed, it is because a teacher once upon a time told a student how to read and write. We are here today, being able to do what we could do, because a teacher once upon a time made us believe in learning is work. No amount of money can enlighten us as compared to what a teacher impacts in the life of a student. Dear teachers, you are one of the best people who makes part of our life and prepare us for the world outside. You have been an epitome of strength and a great pillar of support to us all. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. I have not seen a patient and caring teacher like you before. Even when I am not around on time, you call me on your own credit. Thank you for always being there, caring like a mother. While we were struggling in our academic life, you took it upon yourself to help us. We are one of the best products you created. Thank you, teachers, for this wonderful privilege. You are a wonderful human being, equally caring as a friend, and a strict disciplinarian, yet always approachable. We have been living in the legacy you created while we were students under you. Thank you, teachers, for benefiting us with those knowledge you have about education in life. When they talk of a sincere and a good teacher, your name should be mentioned along, because you accept each of us wholeheartedly without any bias or favoritism. Thank you for everything. Tomorrow, when I am being celebrated and no one knows the real person behind my skills, I will whisper this down that I am not who I am without you. Thank you, teachers, for everything that you have done for us. Don't leave from this information around. God bless you all. Thank you, and teachers.
Being thankful not only shows good manner, but a simple expression of thankfulness can go a long way in relationship and communication with others. If not, only enhance our own lives that makes other people feel appreciated. Thank you once again, Manuel, for your words of appreciation. Moving on to the next, we have a speech on Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan from Vietnam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A very pleasant afternoon to all. Teacher, the second parent. Asatoma Sat Namaya, free us Lord from the untrue and lead us to the truth. Tamasoma Soti Namaya,
For a while.
free us Lord from ignorance and lead us to the light. Read Yoma Amruta Namaya, free us Lord from death and lead us to the light. India has been celebrating Teachers' Day on 5th September. 2021 as part of 35 years of India's independence, Azadika Amrit Mahotsav. From 1962, the birthday of our eminent educationist, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, to honor all the teachers for the immense contribution in our lives,
in making us more knowledgeable and empowered. The teachers are the pillars of the society and are the keystone of our future, for they educate and mold us as potential citizens of our country. Through their intelligence, patience, and wisdom, they attempt not only to sharpen our intellect, but to form a character for a better future. We, the students of Don Bosco College Autonomous Memorandum Maker, look forward to this Teachers' Day with love of appreciation for the shared spirit of the occasion. On this day, we acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the teachers of bygone years and present time, knowing that even the elders among us remember their school days with a nostalgic feeling. There is no nobler service more valuable to the country than that of a teacher who instructs the rising generation. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge, says Albert Einstein. Teachers' Day is meant to acknowledge the noble legacy of teachers who guide us. All in all, it is a celebration mood for each and everyone. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was one of the most distinguished diplomat, scholar, and teacher, apart from being the President of India from May 1962 to May 1967. As a tribute to this great teacher, his birthday is observed as Teachers' Day. As a matter of fact, when his students and friends asked him for the permission to celebrate his birthday, he asked them to celebrate the day as Teachers' Day. We have gathered here today as a family to appreciate and honor our beloved teachers who are rightly referred to our studying parents. It is through the constant educative family present here that our institute is also a studying home for us to nurture and become all that God has made us to be. Teachers, in which way can we pay our tribute to you? For every letter in teacher declares what you do for us. T. For the teaching talent you apply to impart skills of learning process and educate us in the transference of moral values. E. For the enthusiasm you transmit to inspire and exalt us. As an educator, you enkindle the fervor of our souls and enthuse interest to keep us engaged in our studies. A. For the ability in you which discovers our potential and motivates us to be achievers. You facilitate learning as fun and adventure. C. For the commitment of time, effort, and energy you invest for the esteemed noble task as a responsible and dedicated teacher of our school. H. For home. You teachers make school our second home with you as second parents. You think and plan good for us and guide us rightly to ensure a bright future. E. For equality. You promote equality without a trace of bias on caste, creed, color, or gender. You provide equal opportunity to all and transmit the value of gender equality. R. For the resourcefulness. You have independence to cope with any situation or problems. You are resourceful in dealing with us using your creative ingenuity. S. For the selfless service you render without any expectation of award, doing what is right and going the extra mile for the welfare of the school and students. Dear teachers, you make a difference. You shape our minds. You change the world one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you are proud as me as I'm proud of you. Dear teachers, you hear the silent cries who step in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. You give us a safe place to grow, a place to call our home forever we will know. You teach us right from wrong. You teach us much more than your craft to help our minds grow strong. You guide us true and true so that we can make a life. For that we say thank you. Dear teachers, you build the future as you make all other professions possible and play a very important role in making the world a better place to live in. You educate us children and help turn us into responsible adults. We remain thankful to you for your motivational challenges, constructive support, and express our gratitude for you teach us to think, create, analyze, apply, evaluate, use three W's, that is,
whenever, wherever, whatever, to learn digitally in this age. Dear teachers, we highly appreciate you for choosing this teaching profession so vital to our society and nation. In your passion to make scholars, you face challenges bravely and take initiative to facilitate our intellectual growth through the level of interaction and reflection to save our lives. We salute and thank you, dear teachers, for your making difference in reaching each child to become the next great teacher, author, artist, scientist, architect, musician, doctor, engineer, and leader. And respect that deserve for we met you when you're in the sacred places of classrooms. Big thanks to all the igniters. We love you all, dear teachers. Dear teachers, you are the lighthouses of our future. We wish you on this great moment with all our hearts. Happy Teachers' Day. May God bless you. Thank you, dear Dr. Julia, for your wonderful sharing and the importance of celebrating Teachers' Day. Once again, thank you. Now we have words of love from Dr. Angelica, our staff representative. Sarah, please.
A very good afternoon to everyone present here. Although we are very small in number, the quality remains same. We are sharing the day of the teachers. Your friends, Alvine, Emmanuel, Dogila, they have said all the qualities that is being possessed by good teachers. Not all the teachers. So I will be repeating some, but I will try to avoid those which you have already spoken out. Teachers' Day is celebrated in different parts of the world to recognize the work of educators. And as your friends have already shared, it all began since 1962. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan's suggestions, the first Vice President of India and the second former President of India, Dr. Radhakrishnan. He was born in 1888. I think if we reflect back to our Don Bosco College, 1888, the date is very important. He was one of the greatest philosopher and scholar among Indians. So the day is kept to honor him, and he shared with the teachers. If we talk about the great teachers of this world, the first reflection as Christians will go back to Jesus Christ. Because he remains the model and the greatest who shook the world, the entire world. Of course, many good teachers come up, followed, including Aristotle, a great teacher who talks about a sound mind in a sound body. He referred to that. Mahatma Gandhi himself in India imitated the way of Jesus Christ. he became one of the greatest and practical teaching of social change through his propagation of non-violence, imitating the way of Christ, because he found something concrete, something to last in life. So that was Mahatma Gandhi. If we say more about some of the great teachers of India, Rabindranath Tagore is second to none. He had contributed so much to the nation, combining the unity of truth, humanity approach. So that was Rabindranath. We can still take on some of the good examples of Don Bosco himself, who is what the meaning is to lead the body. He introduced a kind of pedagogy that is what we call preventive system. He knew the mind of the young. He could grasp what the young, because he was the one who introduced all this. So the Salesians continue all these practices, like, for example, physical presence with a loving kindness towards the students. That magnetic person has pulled the mind of the young, in which he is able to move the young people, not by trying to follow such. Such teachers become a facilitator rather than imposing. They are efficient. They become efficient channel. They became a role model with an inner calm mind. A part of the and of what I am trying to convey. Perspective, the role of teacher undergoes a major change, a major transformation from the imparter of knowledge to facilitator of conditions which help the learner or the knowledge. Has gone to Imphal to attend a function organized by the Department of University Education and Higher Education. And there, Father
awarded with a special award for his outstanding contribution to higher education. It is a moment and recognition for all of us for this college. That only shows how this college, and after so many years, I came here and I'm amazed to see the growth, phenomenal growth that the college has taken, not only in terms of infrastructure, but in terms of achievements that the college has been able to achieve. The good results that students have been performing. And everything goes back to the teachers because there are dedicated, hard-working teachers who work day in and day out for the growth of all of you students and for this institution.